4 from the worksheet and show you guys what to look for in the problem and then set them up. Okay, so first of all, the growth function, what it's asking for in the very first blank is what is the growth function? What does it look like? And so that's the y equals, and then a, which is the initial amount, and then open parentheses, 1 plus, because it's growth, r, and that's the growth rate, and then it's all raised to the time, or t. So that's the growth function. And number 1 here is an example of the growth function, and you can see that by pulling out keywords out of the word problem. Annual sales for a fast food restaurant are $650,000 a year and are increasing. So there's our clue that it's a growth at a rate of 4% per year. Use an exponential function to find the annual sales after 7 years. So what you'll do is let's just set up what we know. The initial amount, A, in this problem is $650,000. So let's just set up the things that we know. The rate, how fast is it growing each year? It's growing at 4%. But you can't stick 4% into an equation. You have to convert it to a decimal. And 4% represented as a decimal is 0.04. And then the time is 7 years. So now we have all of our information and we can plug it into our equation. So our initial amount is $650,000. Then our open parentheses is 1 plus 0.04, because that's our rate, and that's all going to be raised to the 7th power. And by the way, Grayson, I'm expecting that you will show this work. You will not get credit if you just give me an answer. I have to see the work on this.
Okay, that makes sense. So, looking at the notes, I understand everything up until this point, like A, R, and T in the equation, but I don't understand how to solve the equation.
Okay, so this is what you have to have: the calculator that was required by the class. You know what I'm talking about? I can't remember what the actual number is. I think it's TI 34 or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So what you would do first is you will plug in, and this is what I told the kids yesterday, so listen very carefully because I don't know how I can show this to you without being in person, but hopefully Courtney can. But you would obviously 1 plus 0.04. Okay, you would type
put that in parentheses.
And then you would put that in your calculator, and then don't clear anything. You should get 1.04 in your calculator, and that should be what's on there now. Then you will hit sorry about that, raise to, or the caret, okay, the caret. And I don't have the calculator, so I'm kind of like, oh, where is it on my own personal because I'm having to use my iPhone turned sideways. So, and then you'll hit the caret, and that should be to this, and then the 7th power. Oh yeah, I found it. Okay. Are you tracking with me, or was my dog?
So is that 1.04 to the 7th power?
Yes, sir. And okay. Don't clear anything. Don't clear anything, because what you're going to do is you keep hitting the next thing. So if you like, you got your answer 1.04, and then you had your caret and you raised it to the 7th power. You know what I'm talking about? And
I
then you should
think,
get an answer. And in there, it should be 1.3159317792358 It should be in the calculator like that.
yeah, I got that.
And then you're going to hit times. Okay. And it should say something like answer times. Is it doing that? ANS?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. And now type in 650,000 and then hit equal. And you should get 855, comma 355 point. Now I have 6565, so I would round that to 66. Is that what you got?
Yeah.
Okay. Did that kind of make sense when how I said to do it in the calculator? Like, because basically
so.
What you're using is the answer that you had before to set up your next problem. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, now the decay function is y equals a, and the difference is for decay, we're going to have 1 minus a rate because it's decaying or going down or decreasing, and then raised to t. Okay? And number 2 is a decreasing function, because let's read the word problem. The population of a town is 2,500 and it's decreasing. So thereby we know it's a decay. So if it's increasing, it's a growth. Decreasing means it's a decay at a rate of 3.5% per year. Use an exponential function to find the population of the town after 5 years. So let's go through and pick out the information that we have. Our initial amount is that beginning population, which is 2,500. The rate at which it is decreasing is 3.5. Oops, my bad. 3.5%. But once again, we can't use a percent in that problem. We have to change the percent to a decimal. So we're basically moving our decimal 2 places to the left to change it to the percent to a decimal. I'm sorry. So that's going to be 0.035. So instead of having 2 decimal places like we had in number 1, we've got 3 decimal places because we've got that 0.5%. And then the t is going to be the difference, or actually, sometimes there's a difference, but here it gives us the actual number of 5 years. But sometimes it might give you like the population in 1995 was this. What is it going to be in 2015? So you would have to, So you would have to, or what was it in 2015? So you would actually have to find the how many years there are in that. Does that make sense? Hopefully there'll be one of those in here, and I can show you more clearly. All right, so now we have all of our information that we need to set up our equation. And once again, all of this is very important to show your work for this daily grade. So we put our initial amount in at 2,500 and then open parentheses. And remember, this is a decay, so we're minus and then 0.035. And remember to use the rate where you've changed it to a decimal. Remember to do that, because people yesterday were accidentally plugging in that 3.5 and getting a negative. And you shouldn't have a negative. You should have a number for decay. You should have a number that's less than 1 but greater than 0. Okay? And then this will all be raised to the 5th power. So once again, you'll take your calculator and you're going to go in and you're going to subtract 1 minus 0.035, and then hit enter, and you should be getting 0.965. And then you're going to use your caret and raise that to the 5th power and hit enter. And you should get 0.836828700 and so on. And then you'll hit times, and then you're going to type in 2500 and hit enter. And you should get y equals 2092. And typically with people, when you get a decimal, you want to round down. That's the typical way that you do it. Like with money and that kind of thing, you use that whole rounding of if it's 5 and higher, you go high, 5 and lower, you go low. That's for rounding purposes. But with people, no matter how high the decimal point is, you want to round down, typically.
So do we say y equals 2092 people, or just leave it out, y equals 2092?
Really good question. Thank you so much, Grayson. That's a great question. I would go ahead and write people for the units, and up here we had dollars. So that's a good question. All right. So number 3, they use a word not increasing and not decreasing, but they use a word in this that's a little bit different. So let's talk about that. Daniel's print shop purchased a new printer for $35,000. Each year it depreciates at a rate of 5%. Use an exponential function to find its approximate value after 8 years. What do you guys think depreciates means? Do you think that means an increase, or do you think that that means it's going to decrease? What do you think that means? I'm sorry?
Decrease.
Decrease. Good job. That is exactly what it means. So it's decreasing. So we're going to use the exponential decay function for this one. So let's fill in what we know. Our initial amount is this $35,000 that we paid for the printer, or that Daniel paid for the printer. The depreciation rate is 5%. Again, you can't use a percent inside an equation. You have to convert it to a decimal. So 5% converted to a decimal is 0.05. And the number of years that they're asking us to evaluate is what is its approximate value after 8 years of owning the printer. So our time is 8 years. So we set up the equation with our initial amount of $35,000. And then open parentheses, 1. And because we're depreciating and we're using the decay model, we're going to say what? Plus or minus?
Minus.
Minus. Good job. Decay is minus. And then we're going to type in the 0.05. And once again, you should get a number that's less than 1 but greater than 0 when you find this out. And then that will all be raised to the 8th power. Okay, so take your calculators. Make sure they're all cleared out from the last problem, and type in 1 minus 0.05 and then enter. And now your caret. So you should see on your screen answer raised to, and now you're going to type in 8 and hit enter. And you should be seeing a number similar to 0.66342043129, etc. And now you're going to hit times. So you should be seeing on your screen answer times, and then you'll type in that 35000 and then hit enter. And hopefully you got an answer somewhere near this. I got $23,000, 219 or $23,219, and I got 71.71509. So I'm going to round up to 72 cents since it's money. So the approximate value of the printer will be $23,219.72 in 8 years. Okay, number 4. The population of a school is 800 students and is increasing at a rate of 2% per year. Use an exponential function to find the population of the school after 9 years. So which exponential function am I going to use? The growth or the decay? For number 4.
Increasing. So the
Increasing. Growth. Good job. Good job. Okay. What is our initial amount?
$800.
800. Good job. What is the growth rate?
0.02.
0.02, because you can't use a decimal. I mean, you can't use a percent, so you have to convert it to a decimal. And then what's the
9
time?
years.
9 years. Good job. So y equals, what do I put next?
800.
800.
Parentheses.
And now what do I do?
1 plus 0.02.
Good job. Close parentheses. And what do I raise this
To the 9th.
Yes. Please remember, I'm not multiplying by 9. I'm raising it to the 9th power, and there's a huge difference. So clear your calculator from the last. And this time we're going to do 1 plus 0.02. So you should now have in your calculator 1.02. And then hit your caret. And then type in 9. And then hit enter. Your calculator should now say something of the sort of 1.195092568, etc. And now hit times 800 equals, and you should have something like 956. And even if there's a decimal, remember, because it's people, you round down. All right, I'll do the last one on this page and then leave y'all to do the last 3 on the second page. This one says depreciates. So am I going to use the growth or the decay model?
Decay.
Decay, good job. And what is the initial amount?
21,000.
Good job. And what is the decay rate?
12%.
And that in terms of a decimal would look like what?
0.12.
That's, yeah, I can see where you would get tripped up like that, but it's actually just 0.12. You only move the decimal 2 places, so it's going to be 0.12. There's no 0 there.
That's what I said. I said 0.12.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I misunderstood you. Please forgive me.
You're okay.
And then what's our time?
3 years.
Good job. Can you help me set up the equation then, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Y
equals 21,000, and then parenthesis 1 plus 0.12 to the third power.
Yes, perfect. So now on our calculators, what we want to do, make sure that you're cleared from the last one. And you'll do 1 plus 0.12, which is 1.12, and then hit your caret, and that's 3, and hit enter, and you should have something like 1.404928, and then times 21,000, and you should get, oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, no, we're, that should have been a minus. Oops, my bad, because it's depreciates. I'm so sorry, guys. I should have left when I said I was going to. Whoops, my bad. It's depreciates. So in the middle, this is a minus. So, well, now we know if we had an investment at 12% what it would be, which would be delightful. We would love to have an investment grow like that in over 3 years. It's 1 minus 0.12, which should give you 0.8. .88. Okay? Is everybody with me?
Yes,
and
ma'am.
then that raised to the third power is 0.681472 times 21,000. So that means it's $14,310.91. Depreciate means to decrease. Sorry, I didn't catch that earlier.
Okay, Miss Brooks, I finished the worksheet, so I'm gonna leave.
Okay.
I'll see you.
Good job. I'm sorry?
I'll see you in class.
Okay. So you understand it. I'm glad.
Yeah. And Eli just messaged and said he's going to baseball, so he's leaving too.
Oh, okay. All right. Y'all have a good day.
You too.
Mary Faith, do you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So like on number 6, it would be the what's it called? The growth function.
Yes, so that's going to be growth. So it's going to be the 1 plus R. 7 is going to be 1 minus R. And 8 is going to be 1 plus R.
Okay, then I have it.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a blessed day. See you tomorrow in class.
You too.